So this Friday, road to the final coming, and as a result we can tell what the market is going to do for basically the next 2 weeks. So just before the video does start, a quick little ad on a trading service I offer over on Twitch for the cheapest trading guides out there for just £4, €4, all free with Amazon Prime. You'll receive daily trading and investing guides covering PlayStation, Xbox and PC with an array of methods covering all budgets. And I've been trading for over 10 years, making over 100 million in multiple different FIFAs, and now for the last 4 years I've made 10 million coins in just the first month. So it is now leaked that Future Stars is not going to be the promo coming this Friday, and instead it is going to be the likes of Road to the Final, which is a great promo, but what it does is it kind of lets us know what's going to happen with the market for the next 2 weeks. So far these are the sort of leaked cards, and sadly they're not overly amazing. Now, from what I understand, they're probably concepts, but nonetheless, because of the upgrade path, we kind of know that these cards are going to be a little bit underwhelming. So far, these are the names that are leaked. We got Rafael Leão, we got ourselves Pedri, we got ourselves Gabriel Jesus, Lautaro Martinez, Darwin Núñez, Toni Kroos, Xavi Simons, Mike Moreno, and Galeno. And yeah, they all look very underwhelming. Again, if those are underwhelming predictions or if those are underwhelming official stats. The only problem is multiple people who've leaked these cards have all the images are literally just underwhelming cards. For example, like there's 84 rated Xavi Simons, and even like the 89 rated Gabriel Jesus still isn't looking too amazing. Not 84 Xavi Simons, 87. But these cards just aren't looking amazing, and that's very normal with Road to the Finals. Road to Finals don't normally come out with amazing cards because the cards are all about what the cards can become. Basically the progress of the cards and the projected cards, not where they actively are. Well, as a result of the actively released cards being very naff and unlikely to replace anyone in anyone's team, what we see happen is we see old promo cards go up. Old promo cards are going to go up because, again, that Xavi Simons isn't going to replace someone in someone's team. Same with the Moreno, same with the Galeno. Again, these guys have like one playstyle. One playstyle means there's no upgrade on the Team Year nominees, sorry, the Team Year honorable mentions, the Team Year icons, obviously Team Years himself. So that basically means for a minimum of 2 weeks, EA are releasing cards not as good as honourable mentions. On top of that, they're probably also releasing cards not as good as Winter Wildcards, because we're unlikely to see any base, skill move and weak foot upgrade. And the reason for that is because, they're giving skill moves and weak foots at the end. We might get like someone with 3-star having 4-star, but you're not going to go and see double 5-stars. And I think it's quite unlikely that we go and see players being upgraded to 5-star skills, because otherwise what is the whole point of the upgrade at the end? So because there is a 1, 2, 3, 4 inform upgrade, again, I don't think we're going to get any overly high rated cards, especially the vast majority are not going to be very high rated, because again, low rated cards obviously with a +1 inform get a +2 rating, rather than high rated cards who only get a +1. So there's more incentive for you to give low rated cards, so the inform upgrades are more significant, if that makes any sense. And again, the single playstyle just means that these cards aren't crazy, especially going anywhere near these Team Year icons and Team of the Year cards. The 2 playstyles I think is massive in terms of the progress in people's teams. And yeah, so I think these cards are going to be underwhelming. So what do I expect? So I basically expect the greater market just to rise and rise and rise. I think your best investments is looking at some of the Fire and Ice cards that have really good rises, just because if they had really good rises 2 weeks ago and last week, it shows very good active demand. And if a player's in active demand, they should rise more than someone who isn't as demanded. So a great example of this is Lawrence. There's 2 nice rises we can observe on this card. Obviously the first nice rise right here is 50k to 113k. But I think the second nice rise is seeing that she's also risen from 102 to 122 in the last 48 hours. Now yes, the cards are already inflated, so you're slightly late to buying them. But it doesn't really matter, because as long as these cards aren't going to get replaced by a Evo or an SBC, which again is unlikely, and again, if they do get an Evo, or we do get an SBC, it'll be leaked before they come out, so you'll be able to sell in time. But yeah, basically these cards again should rise really, really nicely for the 2 weeks of Road to the Finals. And then I'll be honest with you, this, in my opinion, gives a bit of an insight into EA's not going to give us any 2 playstyles anytime soon, because the quarterfinal for the Champions League is probably going to be about 2-3 months away. Well, if a player having 2 playstyles is what the upgrade is in 2-3 months, that makes me quite confident that the next few promos aren't going to have double playstyles, or at least the vast majority of cards will not have double playstyles, which again is great for the longevity of promo cards and Team of the Years and Team Year icons and Team Year honorable mentions, because these guys have 2 playstyles, something of which we're potentially not going to see on promo cards for a while now. So again, if you did want to go and pick up Team Year Icons, the reason I like the Fire and Ice cards more than Team Year Icons, honorable mentions I don't think are bad, is because some of these cards are just up so much in the last 24 hours that, you know, yeah, you could have bought them last Sunday, but I mean, you really look at someone like Zola, and Zola in the last 2 days is up like 200k, which is, in my opinion, just a bit of a rough buy. So I prefer not to. So yeah, Fire and Ice and the likes of Team Year Honourable Mentions are still nice and cheap. And again, there are multiple Honourable Mentions with 2 playstyles, which again I think are going to be a really, really good selling point, that aren't really too inflated. For example, I don't think Harry Kane's badly inflated. I know Kim and Jae is. Harry Kane, at the moment, again, is only up like 7k. So I think this card can do well, as long as he isn't replaced by an Evo or a SBC card. Covered this in a previous video, but we are expecting 83s, 4s and 5s to rise. Last year what happened is, after Team Year ended last year, anything 87, 8s, 9s, 91s, they all dropped for the following week, maybe even 2 weeks after Team of the Year. That's because a bunch of the high rateds are now back in packs, and the amount of top end SBCs kind of drops off. And then what happens is we see the 83s, 4s, 5s, 6s and 7s I think are quite inflated, so I'd say 83s, 4s and 5s should rise nicely, probably midweek onwards next week, because again that was the trend on Fodder last year after Team of the Year. And I'm sure you guys are going to want to know, when should I go and buy Road to Finals? Because actually the trend on buying Road to Finals and generally promo cards in general is actually to buy them quite early. So I'm going to go and grab just a few examples here. I've already done my research, this isn't me winging it. So we see the likes of Gabriel Martinelli, and again the cheapest time to go and buy him was on the Sunday. So I would say anywhere from Sunday morning, it doesn't really matter, all the way through to probably about Sunday 10 PM, midnight. It's basically Monday morning they should rise. But even if you're a little bit late, you know, you'd only be buying that card up about 4%, and that's nothing going into the hype of their game. And again, we can see the exact same thing here with Goretzka, that you can go and buy him for the cheapest on the Sunday. I think because of how expensive he is. He actually dropped when Team 2 came out because of how expensive he was. But again, 1.35, it was barely anything cheaper, and he rose going into his game really, really nicely. Exact same here with Barella as well. Actually not fully, maybe he was an SBC link right here. But nonetheless, even if you were to go and buy on Sunday slightly inflated, he still went up another 80k in about 3 days, which was really nice. But again, seemed to rise going into his next game. We can do the same with Atal right here. Atal, we can see Sunday was cheap. Also actually was cheap on the Tuesday, but again, I'd still say Sunday because of it being a reoccurring trend. And again, even if you were to go and buy with him being down, he was still up 70k as of the Sunday. That should be about it. As a basically special promo card should rise for 2 weeks. They'll potentially rise after Road to the Final. It just is subjective on how much they're going to go and upgrade the future stars, which for the last few years has been underwhelming, which we covered in a previous video. Low red fodder expected to go up, high red fodder expected to go down. Team of the Week's probably expected to go up, but less certain than low red fodder, because obviously it's subjective on how much they're needed. Low red fodder is always needed, informs aren't always needed. And yeah, Road to the Finals you're going to go and buy on Sunday. Potentially they might go down to Thursday, but the amount they rise after Thursday is, you know, heavily outweighed by the small drop between a potential Sunday to Thursday. That's going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.